Anna, great seeing you. First, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all of that stuff. I
Same to
think
you.
that,
Look at us.
yes, we are matching up. I think the last time you and I spoke was a couple of years ago. It could have been either before the pandemic or it could have been during the pandemic. But I can't remember if it was a dance thing that you were doing or
It
it was
was,
a lot of things that were going on.
yeah, it was definitely during the pandemic because
Mm,
it was for the song Blast Off, which
okay.
I wrote it for my fiance and we met during the pandemic, so that's when that happened.
And I have to ask, how are you and the fiance? Still fiance, or listen to me,
Yes.
or
Yes, still fiance, we're still engaged. We've started kind of planning here and there, but there's not like secure plans done. We're kind of just looking into things right now.
the pandemic can throw off so much because I probably figured that you guys would have tied the knot and everything else beforehand, but that pandemic it changed your thinking, it changed the way you did things. Like, how was it for the both of you going through all that as you're still, getting your career together and getting your music stuff happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we actually met during the time where they said like don't go out and meet people. Well, we went out and we met people. Shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, no, it was one of those things where especially for my career, I then had to start utilizing whatever I could in order to make it happen, which was like a lot of TikTok, a lot of social media, things like that, in order to be able to stay in contact with like the fans and keep putting things out. So it was definitely interesting.
Just curious, were you actually doing any record? You were recording during the pandemic, correct?
Yes, my first single actually came out during the pandemic.
Okay, so everybody I've spoken to about this has said, yes, this happened. Was your closet your sound booth?
Was my it was not, but maybe somebody else's closet.
Because I knew a lot of people were doing a lot of things at home. They learned about how they could record.
Mhm.
Zoom became their favorite thing to do and sending information. Was it like that for you?
100%. Yep. It was a lot of if we were writing songs, it was through Zoom, meetings, like everything was just computer for sure.
And I'll tell you right now, Zoom is still my best friend because it keeps me from having to run around all over the place and gives us a chance to talk the way we're going to talk because
You
no,
were you always when you did your interviews, were you always Zoom based and then no, just pandemic. Okay.
pandemic is when I first started doing the Zoom. I literally had my equipment and I was running around the city. And if it wasn't that, I was doing everything over the phone, which is why, honestly, I love Zoom
You're
for,
here for it. This is your
yeah,
thing.
I am here for it. And especially for what we're going to talk about now, because we are in the holiday season.
We
People
are.
want new Christmas songs and holiday songs.
Hmm.
You've done that. So let's make this part official. What's
Yay.
the holiday song from you and what's it about?
So it's called Comfy Knit Sweater, and it's funny because when I was writing this song, the idea came to me because there's like this saying where like you look at someone and you're like, you look like my next mistake. And even Taylor Swift put it in one of her lyrics, right? She's like, you look like my next mistake. And I was like, I like that vibe, but what if it works out? What if it's like something cute and it like actually worked? And so I changed it to you look like I'm gonna steal your sweater because that's what that's what happens in every relationship. There's always the one person, right, that steals the other person's sweater and then just keeps it because it smells like them and whatever. So the original thought was that, and that's how Comfy Knit Sweater came to be. And then as we're writing it, we're like, no, this is sounding more and more like a Christmas song. And so we ended up making it an actual Christmas song because of how cute and like the sounds and how everything was vibing. And it turned into a Christmas song, which is my favorite thing ever is Christmas. So the fact that I could have my own Christmas song is like a wish come true. And it just kind of naturally came out of something. So it was great.
I can add to the fact that, as we all know, especially the last couple of years, people love ugly sweaters.
It's true.
They love Ugly sweaters. How would you feel that this song can maybe connect to that tradition of we all got to have those ugly
Yep.
sweaters?
I would love it. I was actually debating on whether I should wear like my ugly Christmas sweater today, but then I was like, my signature thing is like the one snapped
Yes.
overall, and it's a Christmas overall. So I was like, you know what? I'll go with this. But I do have them. I have like five of them. So
It's funny you say that. I was going to wear my ugly sweater, and I just thought, no, I'm going to go with this one right now. So we're close enough. I like that.
yes.
I'm just curious though. Which one is your favorite ugly sweater, and what does it look like?
It's got Rudolph on it, but it has like an actual nose that pops out. So it's like a little poof out here.
Oh my goodness. Um, how does it feel knowing that whether it be a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years, that your new Christmas song could be part of the family Christmas tradition where you're hearing Bing Crosby and you're hearing Nat King Cole and you're hearing Mariah Carey and George Michael, and then in that mix, your
And a
song
pack.
is in there.
Yeah. It's a dream come true, especially my Christmas decorations went up like ASAP. I try to do Christmas for as long as I can. So the fact that like I have this song and it could one day like be part of all of the other amazing Christmas songs that are out there is definitely something that was in my bucket list, checklist. And so I'm super proud of this song and I absolutely love it. And the people that worked on it with me, super lovely people, and we all meshed together in order to make it sound exactly the way that we pictured it to sound like. And the product is something that I'm so proud of this song.
Where can we get the song?
All streaming platforms, so Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever streaming platform that exists, it'll be on there. The lyric video is also out for that, and you can find it on YouTube.
Now you're extending our Christmas presents and giving because you're going to have an album following something like this too, right?
Absolutely. So our album is set to come out in 2024. The
Mhm.
first single is going to come out January 12th. So I'm super excited for that one too. It's also got a bunch of sounds that I've always wanted to put into a song, and the team that I've been working with is very like we're all on the same page about like what we want things to sound like. So I'm super proud of that one too, and I can't wait for everybody to hear it.
Can you give us a little hint on what the album's going to be called, or even the new single, or do we have to wait?
Actually, I was given the green light to let you know what the next single is going to be called. So it's going to be called Freedom,
Mhm.
and it's all about getting to a point where you feel free to be yourself and have your power and believe in yourself to do the things that you want to do.
How important is to have a song like that, especially because we just had a friend come. Who was that?
This is this is my fur baby Ripley.
Oh my goodness! Oh,
I
he or
know
she first? He or
she.
she? She's a big one.
She's she's my little chunky baby.
I love that. I love how they just like, yeah, it's supposed to be about me. What are you doing? You
It's
know?
you know what? I'm sitting in my work chair and I always have to sit up at the front of the work chair and she sits at the back to nap. So she's like, "Excuse me, you're in my spot right now."
I love that. But as I was gonna ask before we were interrupted, how important is to have a song like that, especially with all the things that we've seen since COVID and continue to see around the world?
It's super important. It's one of those things where I want to remind people that it's it's okay to believe in yourself and it's
Yeah.
okay to think, you know what? I want to go out there and find my happiness. And
Mhm.
if I do the work within, then I will find my happiness, my whatever it is that you're, reaching for, that you're wanting. So it's very important to have a message because sometimes we forget, including myself, sometimes I forget. And it's nice to have the reminder of, you know what? You can do this, go for it and do it and believe in yourself. So it's all about being reminded that there are good vibes out there, you know?
Amen to that. Look, before we wrap this up, I've got to ask you because we are still talking about the holiday season. What would you
Yes.
say was your favorite Christmas gift that you got?
Oh, wow, that's a great question. I don't know if it's necessarily a gift, but as my family starts growing, like my brother has kids now, and we all get together for Christmas, and now, I've got my partner Joe and her side of the family as well. The fact that we can do like gatherings and have like everybody together,
Mhm.
and as the years go, like it just keeps on growing and growing, and there's just so much like love in the room. I think that's what mostly what I feel around the holidays.
I love that. That's a great memory. Look, I'll let you go because all I keep seeing is a tail coming up
A
behind
little
you every
drippy.
other second. And I think she's basically saying, "Yeah, okay, can you wrap up this interview? I need my seat."
She
Thank you
said,
so much.
"Time to take a nap."
Thank you so much for the interview. Congratulations on the new Christmas song. Looking forward to the new album
Thank
in
you so much.
January. And let's talk more in 2024 and all the
I
things
would
that you're
love that.
doing when it comes to shows and everything else.
Mhm.
Say hello to your partner in crime for me too. And like I said,
Will
all
do.
the best in 2024.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.